Good afternoon, Dallas School District staff. This is Steve Martinelli coming to you live from the happiest place on earth, Whitworth Elementary School. Today I'm here representing your class team in an effort to communicate more clearly with staff as we decided as a team to develop this video update as well as the written email and document sent to you earlier today regarding our November 10th Professional Development Day. So on November 10th, you're going to have options, both in AM options from 8:30 to 10 a.m. and PM options. Your first morning workshop options are, first of all, number 1, making the most of Read Aloud's argumentation, led by Michelle Nelson at Lyle Elementary School. In this session, Mrs. Nelson will share information that she gained at the Reading and Writing Project Institute at Columbia University this past summer. The Read Aloud strategies are intended to help us teach students how to close read texts, as well as encourage deep discussions about literature. Following that, she'll take you through some argumentation strategies that she learned while she was there, which teach students to use evidence from text to support their claims and interpretations of text meaning. This is something that is heavily weighted in the new Smarter Balance assessment, and we need to explicitly teach our students how to make a good argument. Second morning session would be Kim Sutton Math Fluency, led by Stacy Fagan, Ruth Wagner, and Stephanie Hofferber over at Lyle Elementary School. In this session, teachers will learn tools that they can use when teaching fractions, addition, subtraction, and multiplication. They had a great time at the Kim Sutton workshop, and they attended this summer, and they hope that you'll find the tools useful as well. The third session is Cafe Daily 5, led by Jen Castellino and Cassie Brodigam up at Oakdale. The room will be determined later. In this session, they're going to discuss ways to introduce the Daily 5 rounds, demonstrate several Daily 5 activities, and supply a list of resources to find more tools for teachers to add to their current collection. They'll also discuss Cafe in the classroom, including how to introduce strategies, strategy groups, and conferencing. They'll focus on the implementation and maintenance of the Daily 5 and Cafe in the classroom, ranging anywhere from the beginning stages to full implementation. Participants in this session should have at least a general understanding of Daily 5 and Cafe, as this session will not be an introduction, but rather a guided work session in which all will participate in sharing ideas. Attendees should bring examples of what they are currently finding successful in their own implementation of the Daily 5 and Cafe, as well as questions or concerns on beginning their own Daily 5 setup. We hope participants will leave with ideas, motivations, and a set of resources. Another option in the AM session is Engineering Design by Brian Williamson. This will be held at Whitworth Elementary School, once again, room to be determined. In this session, teachers will be introduced to and then apply the engineering design process to solve a given problem. In our present technology age, students have, in many cases, lost the ability to be creative, stick to a task, and solve problems regardless of the given subject. As a result, our students have very little grit or stick-to-itness. These engineering design strategies will show your students that it's okay to try and fail, so long as they learn from their experience. Learning to try and try again will build the grit in our students that we all long to see, whether it's science, math, reading, writing, or social studies. Plus, it's learning through playing, which is something almost every kid can enjoy, and you will too. Also in the morning, yet held slightly longer from 8:30 to 11:30, is the Ed Camp at Ed Camp Wildcat over at Lockrell Middle School. There will be several sessions that are held. During session 1, Google Drive 101, led by Linda Griffith. Do you want to learn the basics about tools located in your Google Drive and how to utilize them with success? Well, this introductory session is designed for you to learn tips and tricks, as well as time for questions and answers and how to use Google Drive more efficiently. Second session will be, now we have some devices, now what? Things to consider. This will be led by Mr. Richardson, Jamie. Technology integration is not always an easy thing to do. We all know that. Need help navigating the wild and crazy world of the classroom technology integration? Start with the right goal in mind. In this session, we'll discuss a framework to consider when planning successful classroom integration of technology. Incorporate high levels of engagement and critical thinking in ways that are meaningful for students in their use of technology. Another session at the Ed Camp, Wildcat Ed Camp, using Google Classroom to organize teacher and student learning. In this session, Jacob and Ken, led by Jacob Graddick and Ken Guffey, they are going to discuss and demonstrate how they've incorporated Google Classroom within their classes. Let's have a definition. What is Google Classroom? Well, Google Classroom is designed to help teachers create and collect assignments paperlessly, including time-saving features like the ability to automatically make a copy of a Google document for each student. It also creates drive folders for each assignment and for each student to help keep everyone organized. That is your Google Classroom. Also on this morning first session over at La Creole is iPad 101, hands-on practical ways to utilize iPads in the classroom. This is led by Kelly Ackerman, Lyndon Jones, and Deanne Harms. Come and learn from these teachers who have blazed the trail for our district in using technology in the classroom. They will discuss challenges and solutions and be on hand to help others with their implementation questions. And the last part of session 1 of the morning at La Creole, their Ed Camp, is looking for fun ways to communicate effectively with students and parents. In this session, Teresa will share her experiences with successfully integrated effective communications tools with students and parents through the use of a variety of tools such as electronic newsletters and the use of a classroom website. Session 2 in the morning over at La Creole's Ed Camp will be Google Drive 101. This is a repeat session from the first session, so Linda Griffith once again will be helping you out. The second part, another session offered in session 2, another course, will be Wanted, students who critically think, create, collaborate, and communicate. This will be led by Jim Pauls and Jamie Richardson and students of La Creole Middle School. When we struggle with student engagement, we threw the plans out the window and introduced a SOLE project. S-O-L-E stands for Student Organized Learning Environment, which essentially is problem inquiry-based learning at its best. Come and see how this kind of learning experience has impacted the way we look at how students learn. We will have students on hand and allow you to hear their thoughts from their experiences with the SOLE project. And our last session, or another session in the second session over in the morning, will be high-level thinking and hands-on in a makerspace environment. This session will be led by Ken Guffey and students of La Creole. What in the world is makerspace? Well, it is essentially a space that allows students to problem solve and create using all sorts of media. In this session, Ken and his students will demonstrate how they begin to utilize technology in their mini marker space with use of coding programs and Fruit. Yes, that's not a typo, Fruit. Come learn from Ken and the students at La Creole. Another session in that session 2 of the Ed Camp at La Creole is iPad 102, Creativity and Learning. Doug Harms will lead this session, and in the session Doug will share how he has used iPads in his class to not only have students create, but to teach them to work with a paperless learning environment. Come see some fun tools and get some ideas for class or fun independent student projects. Teacher and student blogging awesomeness. This is your last session for the morning as a choice. Julianne Lindemann and Marilyn Imben. See how incorporating a class blog can increase engagement and encourage student writing with a purpose. Julianne and Marilyn will show how they have built a collaborative environment with their students through the use of their classroom blogs. And that wraps up your morning choice and your morning sessions. So remember, the email sent out earlier had a 2-question survey for you to ask on SurveyMonkey. And the first one is, which session are you going to attend in the morning? Make sure you click and press a button so that we know. But guess what? There's also afternoons. That's right. We have afternoon workshops that are going to run from 12:30 to 2 in the afternoon. Once again, your 2-question survey is going to ask you which one of these sessions are you going to take in the afternoon. Well, let's take a look. First, offered by Terry Hethorn and Elaine Dunbar, Real Narrative Writing. This will be held at Lyle Elementary School in a room to be determined. This session will support your teaching of real narrative writing, using the right tools as well as other curricular materials. Although designed for elementary teachers new to Dallas School District, veteran teachers are more than welcome to attend to come hone their skills and share with their peers. Also in the afternoon, you can learn a little more about Singapore math for your K-3 teachers. Heather Anderson, Melanie McCarley, and Amy Ebner will be teaching this session at Oakdale in a room to be determined. In this session, teachers will have the opportunity to hear new ideas to incorporate math into lessons, or to incorporate into math lessons. At the K1 level, we'll look at using math journals and going through the process of concrete modeling, pictorial modeling, and then abstract problem solving. This will include working on number sense routines. At the 2-3 level, the focus will be on model drawing with a visual approach to solving word problems, helping students organize information and solve problems in a step-by-step manner. We will also be looking at the progression from concrete experience, then using manipulatives, to a pictorial stage, and finally to the abstract level. Also in the afternoon, if you didn't get enough technology in the morning, K-5 teachers, come on over for iPads in the classroom for K-5. This will be held at Whitworth Library, and Deanne Harms will be leading this session. In the session, elementary teachers will have the opportunity to experience a classroom lesson using the iPad. This lesson will introduce iPad shortcuts, special accessibility settings, tools and apps, and how to project from an iPad. We'll briefly discuss educational creative rights, digital citizenship, and the International Society for Technology and Educational Standards for Students. There's an acronym for that, go figure. Plan to work collaboratively with a partner. iPads with required apps for this session will be provided for use during the workshop. Then, of course, you can head back over to Lockrell in the afternoon to the STEAM integration. That's right, Jamie Richardson will be leading a group over at Lockrell. This afternoon session will allow teachers the opportunity to examine what STEAM is and how we can collaborate with each other and community resources on the integration of science, technology, engineering, art, and math for highly engaging student learning experiences. Strategies for developing and incorporating STEAM learning activities will be outlined. Brainstorming amongst teachers will occur, and time for more organized planning will be made available, all with the target of increasing student engagement and learning. And your another afternoon session, maybe you want to learn more about claim, evidence, and reasoning. Well, Julianne Lindemann and Shannon Ritter are your leaders of this group over at DHS in a room to be determined. Head over to Dallas High School. Are you looking for a way to implement Common Core in your classroom? Do you want to improve your students' ability to express their critical thinking in class discussion and in writing? Well, how can you get students to get the most out of their reading? This session will discuss how the use of claim, evidence, and reasoning can help you accomplish those goals, and provide an opportunity for brainstorm ways that you can in your content area and how that can support literacy. Bring an example of a question you would want students to answer and the source they would use to answer it. Well, and another afternoon session is setting up a Google Classroom. That's right, Sadie Longgood over at Dallas High School will be leading a session helping teachers get a step-by-step tutorial for setting up a Google Classroom, inviting students to join, and managing, grading, and returning assignments. If there's time and everyone is ready, they might even cover reporting as well. This will be mostly of interest to high school teachers, but other teachers would also be welcome. And maybe classroom management techniques is your calling. Well, we have a session for that as well. Charlotte Fisher and Joyce Garland will be at Dallas High School, and they ask that you come hone your classroom management techniques starting from passing period, continuing through whole group lessons, and ending at dismissal time. These simple techniques are easy to implement, yet make a world of difference on the classroom climate. And of course, we've all heard of the performance task. Well, we have a session for that as well. Performance task for math and science will be led by Cherish Henriksen. It'll be at DHS once again, room to be determined. In this session, teachers will be introduced to the idea of performance task as introduced by the Smarter Balance Consortium. The development and purpose of performance tasks are to help aid teachers in the implementation of the Common Core state standards. Performance tasks are extended activities that measure a student's ability to integrate knowledge and skill across multiple standards. Many of these tasks will require up to 120 minutes or more. Tasks may require group work and/or individual preparation. Teachers will work together to accomplish a task and integrate the type of technology necessary. It will require teamwork and perseverance. Teachers should bring a positive attitude, a willingness to work, and an iPad or a laptop. Well, there you have it. There's your November 10th agenda. Pick a morning session, pick an afternoon session. Please make sure you click the link in your email that you received this afternoon and fill out that 2-question Survey Monkey so that we can tell these wonderful presenters how many people are going to show up to their sessions, so they know how many copies of things to make, they know how many seats to have ready and be prepared for. Again, from your class team, thank you very much for listening. Hopefully this helps us communicate better. All right, Steve Martinelli signing off from the happiest place on earth, Whitworth Elementary School. Thank you.